This one should be pretty simple. We have 2011 Volkswagen Jetta 2.5 liter CBTA. Actually, yep, CBTA. Runs rough. Came in just shaken. Check engine light. I think it was on. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, scanned it. We have a barometric pressure sensor, which is likely covered in oil and needs to be replaced. I'm just gonna go ahead and recommend that because it's a little bit of an effort to get down to it. And then it was misfiring. Cylinder 5 was the main culprit. Here's 4. Here's cylinder 4's plug. You can see it's pretty good, but it's also pretty gapped. Like this thing is, it's got a very large gap. But this one has been carbon tracking and firing through the side of the ceramic. You can see where it split it. That's not dirt. And so, need some plugs. I'd recommend plugs and a barometric pressure sensor. These 2.5 liters, the barometric pressure sensor is low enough on the intake that it can get oil into it if the PCV is not acting correctly, or it can just happen over time. When enough oil collects into the intake, we'll check the pressure and see how much vacuum it's pulling, etc., etc. But I don't really anticipate to find much there. So if I do replace all these, I'll give you the rundown. All right, doing a bit of an inspection on this 2.5, and we have run into the other problem that it has, which is a vacuum pump leaking. If you look under your car and you have a 2.5 liter and you see oil all like this, then bingo, bango, there's your problem. And to let you see it specifically, oh, hooked on cords. Leaking from right there. That is the vacuum pump itself. And you can see it's even got droplets on the bottom of it. So, replace the vacuum pump. Good part is on a manual, it's a lot easier than it is on an automatic. Hooray! So we're installing some brand new Bosch spark plugs, and we just have to make sure the gap is correct, which is 1 to 1.1 millimeters. And then you torque them down to 25 Newton meters. So I'm gonna get all these gapped up, get them installed, and we'll go through the torquing process. Have all the plugs hand tight. So what I do, when I mean hand tight, I just mean literally. In fact, this one can go a little bit more. There we go. So just you screw them in hand tight on the extension. And now we're going to go through with our torque wrench set to 25 Newton meters. We are going to torque them all down. 1, 2, 3. We have all those correctly torqued, which is going to give them the best heat range. We already checked the gap and installed them. If in case for some reason I don't use that part, I don't know. So now, you're gonna want to use a little bit of this dielectric tune-up grease. I get this from CarQuest. It's Permatex. So what I like to do, personally, get a, well, relatively clean pick tool, take a little dielectric grease, I mean just a little bit, not a terrible amount, get it in there and then just wipe it up and down. Because this helps the coil, 1, seal up, and 2, come back off again when you want to take it back off to do plugs in the future. So, goop, and proceed. I don't push them all the way down yet because I'll get all the connections plugged in, because you see that this thing kind of sits in the track. So when I take them apart, I tend to pop them all out and then pull off the connections. It makes life easier. So going back together, pretty much the same thing. Also, it's like, for this stuff, don't go crazy, but you can be pretty liberal with it. Also, it depends on where you are, how much you want to use, and stuff like that. I'm in the south. It's not super rusty down here. We don't have a big problem with it or anything like that. And if you do enjoy watching this kind of content and you happen to be awake or available to watch between 8:30ish a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, American, then you can watch it live too. Because I stream this all day whilst I do this stuff too. So you can come on here and yell at me about how terrible of a job I am doing for whatever reason it is that you see fit. And if I would only do that one thing that you had requested that I do, we would have been fixed, this car would have been fixed and out of here a long time ago. Ta-da! Plug's done. So now we're going to move on to the barometric pressure sensor. So I'm going to get this accessible. What we're going to do is we are going to take off this clamp, this boot, which we have to unclamp that. Looks like you're going to stay. Optimally, you take this off. There's 225 course. One on each ear. Yeah, there. So I'll do is I'll grab the bottom of this and then try and unclip that side. And then try and unclip the other side. Sometimes it's not so easy, or optionally start with the hard side first, or you're supposed to be able to squeeze it and get it off, but that never works correctly. And if you're good enough, you can stab yourself. There we go. Clips off. So now we'll bleed a little bit and take off the rest of this. However, I will have you know, if the blood gods want your blood, because you're fixing a car and they demand a sacrifice, you will give it to them willingly. If you do not, then it will be a poor repair. However, if you do give it to them willingly, the old adage is that if you bleed on it, you know it's gonna work. So again, like I do with all these Volkswagen clips, I take a pick tool, right angle pick tool, reach down in there and try and pry the tab up, because I've had way too many of these clips break trying to use the lever action on them. So then we got some, what, T30s, I think? Yep, T30s. So there's 4, 1 here, 2 down here. So I always like to go squeak. As you can see here, somebody has zip tied this to that, which I don't think is factory. There's my wire cutters. There they are. Clip the zip. And then there's a T20 hiding behind this wire loom. In this, there's an ear like this right on this side. And this one does not have a bolt in it, this one does. You don't actually have to take off the throttle to do this. If you're dexterous enough, you can wiggle this thing out of there without having to do that. But I also wanted to clean out the throttle, which actually looks really clean. No, it's not, it's terrible. It's really dirty on the backside. I lied. So, again with the clip. There's that. I'm pretty sure it's T20. Let me confirm that. It's either a 20 or 25. It is a 20. Don't drop the bolt. So, tiny little Torx 20 bolt. And you can pull that out. Yeah, you see it's full of oil. These things get pretty oil fouled. So, I'll go in here and just try and wipe up oil out of the intake. Try and make sure it's not too saturated, which doesn't seem that bad. It's got a little bit, but it's nothing It's not like I've seen them with like puddles in there. When you look into the, it's easier to see in person than it is on camera. We have a new gasket on there. The throttle body is shiny clean, so we are just going to reinstall that, and it's even got this handy dandy locating pin there, so it'll help you keep it on there. And then you just start putting in the bolts. A trick for these particular bolts to help them get in the grooves they were already in instead of cutting new threads is to take the bolt, push it up against the hole, and then go backwards. And you'll feel it fall, or it might even pop like that, and that means you fell into the groove of the old one. And now you can usually thread it in maybe 2 or 3 threads before it gets tight. Then you just reassemble, hook everything back together, and give her a go. So there's how you do spark plugs, that barometric pressure sensor or map sensor, I think it's a map sensor, manifold absolute pressure, so that can only make sense. And there you go. We're also going to change the air filter, which I can show you that. I might as well just make it a part of this too. Air filter unscrews from this box. It sits in here like so. This is the back, if you will. So there are some bolts. There's Phillips heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's these hooks right here. So when you go to put it back on, you're gonna need to interlock these hooks. There. So get those hooked in here, and once you get it in there, before you pull it down, it should already line up to its base piece, as it does like over here. So it should just, go in pretty easily. Again, the self-tapping screws, etc., etc. But there you go. Also, as you notice, there is a grommet here, grommet here, grommet here, but not one here. We should find that. And it's probably stuck right here. So we'll pick that off, reinsert it in here. Good part is it's on the front side of the filter, so the clean air is still going through it even if this hole is open. So if you're for some reason missing that, don't panic. It's not going to kill it. So there's how you do plugs, air filter, and all that stuff. So thanks for watching, and if you want to join us sometime, currently live because I'm here. So see you in the next one.